she lied about the whole thing. This is why we say white devil. So you got to really pay attention and understand what you are willing to accept as far as this satanic system. When you pay attention to most of the Satanists, see, the Satanists get it. Those who are Satanists, they understand what's going on, which is why most Satanists you see as white people. They understand what they are. They know it's not no Satan. They understand it's a system. And a lot of people have come to the realization that, the world is stupid and this system is going to win. So they chose sides already. And people will tell you that flat out. Well, I know the satanic system is going to win because people are dumb, so they're going to win. So I want to be on the winning side, early before everything, start going crazy. I want to be on the winning team. This is the identity of Satan. This is what the Bible is trying to tell you. And again, the book is full of deception. It's full of parables. And it's trying to tell you a plethora of things. And the main thing it's trying to tell you is who Satan is. And it's Jesus, it's God, it's Satan. It's all the same shit. It's all the same thing. So when you understand that and you act accordingly because you realize that, one, it's not, the only thing that can stop it is the people who are benefiting from it. And we can be delusional if we want. There's not going to be this huge race war where, everybody's just fighting because we don't like each other. It's just not going to happen. And if it do happen, the people who should win won't, because we're not in power. We don't have the technology and the capability, to win such a war. But what's happening is you have white people who are waking up and understanding that shit. The Bible is calling me Satan. I don't accept that. And I have, like I said, I talked to a lot of white people who bring this to my attention. Are we Satan? What are we? Because they understand that their history is a lie. Their accomplishments is a lie. Especially when you can clearly see it. When you can see that this country was built on slave labor. When you can go back and trace, everything, the astrology, everything that the Greeks are basically so proud of with their, mathematicians and, historians and astrologers and philosophers and everything, Kemet. Which is why they have to steal Kemet. So again, if we just go to science, we know black people were here first. And again, I have another video coming out about, the races of people. So this is stuff that's proven. It's up to people to go and look into this stuff and accept the truth or not, or they can just keep doing what they're doing. And this is what we're seeing. People are just basically going along. And it's hard to expect any person who's benefiting from this system to give up their privileges for, to go against the team that look like it's going to win. So, it's deep. It's deep. But the Bible is clearly telling you who Satan is. It's a government system. It's not a being that fell. It's not none of that. It's this government system that is fulfilling an agenda that they set in place a long time ago. And everything that we think Satan is, we have never seen. But we have seen the government fulfill everything that we think Satan is. So when you start to pay attention and look at that, you can clearly see who Satan is and who Satan is using to fulfill his agenda. And it's white people. The very people that can fix the system is the very people that is using to perpetuate this whole, illusion, this whole deception. And, the only thing that's going to fix it is unity. But you have so much racial tension and so much hate between us that, it's just not going to get done. You're going to have white people that get offended by this video and what I've said in this video, but it's all true. It's all true. Just pay attention and look at it. Name a race that has done what the white race has done as far as conquest. Conquest for what? If you have all the money, all the power in the world, why are you letting people starve to death? What is the purpose of going out and trying to conquer all these countries? What is that? What is America trying to do? Why are we everywhere? Why is the military bases all over the planet? Why they keep recruiting troops? Just keep recruiting. What is going on? So there's an agenda in place. And we can clearly see that. They banned Muslim countries that had nothing to do with terror attacks here in America. Why? The ones who had to do supposedly with terror attacks in America they're not on the list because they are part of the agenda. How come the Saudis haven't been attacked? We know their relationship with the Bushes. Look at Dubai and how luxurious it is. I was there, so I know how nice it is. They have Saudi kings that don't nobody touch them. Don't nobody touch them. What is that? But it just seems like every other Muslim is, a terrorist. And it's basically the Islamic countries that they don't have under their control that have not been basically taken over by the IMF and, the powers that be. So it's clearly an agenda in place. And people can just sit around and ignore it and, go along to get along and say, well, as long as they're not hurting me, I don't care. But they're close. They are so fucking close to fulfilling it. We're talking about a small amount of countries that have not been taken over. This thing ends with America. If you pay attention to the parable, as I've talked about in previous videos, the destruction of America is what's supposed to bring about the New World Order. This is what's supposed to bring everybody together. If you really want to pay attention to the whole, air power and the bear and, all that shit the Bible's talking about, which alluding to Russia nuking America or bombing America, basically what it's talking about in the Bible. We want to get into the whole prophecy. This is supposed to bring about everybody's supposed to be so sad and devastated about the destruction of America, Babylon the Great has fallen, or what have you, that it brings the world together. And if you pay attention to movies, it's giving you that same kind of dialogue. It was the same thing with Watchmen. You pay attention to how New York was nuked, and they let it happen so that the world can come together to basically unite against, Dr. Manhattan or whatever, who had all that power. It's a agenda, it's a setup, and it's a plan that's being hatched out. And it's not easy for people to see. So if you pay attention to the argument, and people have argued it's the white man, the devil, and what have you, and, we can sit here and we can say that, well, black people, we have to basically come together and unite and do what's right and, stop bullshitting and stop selling drugs and stop killing each other and come together and, open up business and corporations and companies and do what we're supposed to do. If we do that, then we'll be fine. But you got to remember, do that where? Do that where? Do that in America? Underneath their system. It's still their system we have to deal with. And they have put things in place to make sure something like this do not happen. But not just that. We got to deal with those black people who are religious, who believe that this stuff is supposed to happen, that, these prophecies supposed to come true, to just chill and cool out and not, keep their heads down, not get into no trouble, not risk their life, because, people scared to die. So we can't unite. We can't come together. It's not going to happen for those reasons, because people are too religious, or people don't want to die. They don't want to risk their life. They don't want to sacrifice nothing for change. As long as their immediate existence is not threatened by the government, and they can go to work, and they can eat, and they can drink, and go to the club, they don't give a shit. So, this unity won't happen. So when we argue, who is the white man the devil? Clearly he's the devil. But the devil is not some being. It's a system. It's a system. And what the white man don't know, he's a part of it. And basically, which is the case. So you have your average white person who have no clue that the reason why they feel this way or feel a certain way against racist people is because they have been trained to feel this way in order to perpetuate white supremacy and to fulfill an agenda that has been set in place. So that's basically what it is. Basically what it is. I don't want to sit here and say it's not their fault. But, technically it's not their fault. But if you want to break it down in terms of right and wrong, then you have an obligation to do what's right and what's wrong, or what's wrong. You have an obligation to do what's right, period. You can choose to do the wrong thing, which is what a lot of white people are choosing to do, or you can sit there and see the facts that clearly this government is corrupt. Clearly. And when you sit there and you see black people being killed in the streets, innocent black people, you got to say something about that. You got to step up and do what's right. And, we hear, well, what about black on black crime? When clearly, it's obviously everything that's wrong with the black neighborhood, we know it has been put in place by a government system. As we talked about, we know it has already been proven. FBI put crack in there. And if you do little sneaky, weird shit to make sure black people don't excel and move ahead, then of course it's going to be poverty. So again, even if we wanted to come together and unite and do things and just get our lives together, there's still a system in place that won't allow us to do it. So again, you have white people being used to be a part of this satanic system, and they have no clue. Now, some black people are going to say, well, of course they have a clue. They know what they're doing, and they're the devil, and, black people pissed off. And like I said, I can understand black people being mad at what they are seeing and what's going on and what's taking place. But again, if you understand what I'm saying, if you get the fact that this is a government system that's using both of us, not just white people, but black people as well. Because black people are playing a role in this system as well. Everybody who you looking up to, your rappers, who throwing up the devil shit and the demon shit, they're playing a part. They're showing you that they are down with this whole satanic system, this whole, government system to control everything. They sold you out, but you still praising them. So you can't say something about the white man who's being deceived just like we being deceived. And that's being real with it. We are being deceived just like they are. The thing is now, at least, you got white people starting to wake up. But these celebrities who you look up to and who you praising don't give a shit about nothing but their money, because they have been promised something. And they have, basically signed a contract. And when we talk about selling your soul to the devil, this is what we're talking about. Selling your soul to the system. Now you got to do what they tell you to do. If not, you're dead. So why would they choose death over a life of power, money, wealth, success? Why would they help you when you won't even help yourself? So again, we got to stop bickering back and forth about who's at fault and who is to blame and everything like that. It is what it is. It is what it is. So the only thing we can do to fix, the problem is to come together and fix it. We can argue all day long. They're going to win. They're winning. But now when you have an understanding of who the real enemy is, and it's not, again, as I always say, it's not Tom that work at Kinko's or Gloria who is your cashier, regular, just ordinary white people who you see every day who just working, trying to survive and get by. It's not them. And the ones who are screaming out racial shit, who have been deceived by the system, or who just got, hate in their heart because they have been brought up that way, because they have been swayed by what the media has been showing them about black people. As I said, if I got all my information about black people from TV and the media, I would be racist too. I wouldn't like them. I wouldn't like black people, because it's all they show. It's us being evil. It's us doing crazy shit, and it's a part of the agenda. It's just that simple. So, it's part 2. I got a lot more I want to get into in part 3, but I want you to see the identity clearly. Who Satan is. It's your government. It's the white race who this government system is using to fulfill their agenda. Have been using for thousands of years. And it's up to white people to either accept that and to keep following it, or to step back and say, I don't want to be a part of it. I want to do what's right. Again, it's not an easy decision to give up your privilege or to stand out. And we got to applaud anybody that's willing to do that on our behalf, or on the behalf of doing what's right. I respect anybody who's trying to do what's right. I don't care what color you is. So, it's part 2. And, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. You know, part 4 of Preparing for Mental Nature is out. Thanks for everybody who purchased it or downloaded it. And yeah, part 3 going to come out to this video because I want to get into a lot more. I just wanted to get this out the way because once you understand the identity, what I show you next in part 3, it's going to make a lot more sense because you're seeing stuff every day that is not just revealing the agenda, but showing you things in the Bible that they are alluding to, that they are trying to fulfill. So when it was trying to go into Syria, I already knew, well, damn, if they do get Syria, they're going to fulfill Isaiah 17:1. They're going to fulfill it. That's a Bible prophecy right there. So when you understand, you know what to look for, you can see what they're trying to do. You can see the agenda is there. To anybody who into this whole esoteric knowledge, you know, only certain people are going to get it. If you're just too much focused on Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and worrying about work and bills and kids and shit like that, you know, you don't got time for this, which is why I do what I do. So, you know, it's time to wake up. I think if Trump ain't make you, you know, snap out of the bullshit now, all the stuff that's going on is getting real. It's getting real. So we not going to survive 4 years of Trump. Something going to happen. And y'all better be prepared for it. That's all I got to say. Something going to happen. He not just going, you know, change his whole shit up and be good and do what's right for the people. We can force him to. And I'm not saying by brute force. I'm saying by just keep doing what we're doing. People just protesting and marching. And you see what happened. I mean, a lot of people didn't peep that, you know, soon as the government pissed white people off, you know, crazy, what did white people do? They took straight to the street. They went straight to their elected officials. They went straight to the Senate. They went straight to Congress. They went straight to everybody who can make a change. And what happened? Something happened. His shit got stopped. So black people were getting killed left and right. No law was changed. Nobody stepped forward and got a law changed for us to, you know, stop these cops from killing us, to put a new law in place that basically really going to penalize these police or change the procedure or the use of deadly force. Nothing got done. So, you know, I had a lot of people saying that, shit, white people care more about Arab foreigners than black Americans. So, because they went out there, even though white people marched with us with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, but because, as I said, Black Lives Matter is a deception, they didn't go nowhere where it would have made a difference. They blocked streets and burnt shit. That's not going to make a change. But white people went straight to the source, to the powers that be, and got shit changed. And, you know, the judges, the courts blocked the shit. So this is what I'm talking about. So we got to pay attention to stuff. It's stuff that's happening. It's going to be unfolding. And you can kind of sort of see the direction Trump is going. Trump basically has to fulfill what Obama couldn't. And Obama was supposed to basically, this shit still is about the Levant. It's still about the Levant. Still about ISIL. What's up with them? What's up with ISIS? What's going on? Obama didn't fulfill his whole thing. Obama's job was to basically have the Levant completely under their power before he left. He didn't do that because Russia intervened or what have you. So once they get back in there and get the Levant, it's going to be a war with Iran. It's just that simple, and Russia can't allow that to happen. So World War III, as I talked about in previous video. So this is what it's about. You can see immediately, as soon as Trump get into the fucking White House, where is he going? To the Middle East to fuck with the little bit of countries that they don't have in the IMF under their control. It's still about the Levant. It's still about, you know, taking Iran and everything like that. So, you know, pay attention, man. There's a lot going on, and, you know, they are fulfilling an agenda, and it's a lot more we're going to get into. So, again, thanks for watching. See you guys next video.